Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. #1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to koolNews at 6. I'm Carlos. The House of Representatives has adopted a resolution tasking 4 committees to jointly probe different but intertwined issues, illegal activities linked to Philippine offshore gaming operators, POGO, the presence of illegal drugs, and the alleged rights violation in the drug war. During the session on Tuesday, House Resolution number 1880 was adopted via viva voce or voice voting, directing the following panels to investigate these issues. Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Committee on Public Order and Safety, Committee on Human Rights, Committee on Public Accounts. Privileged speeches and resolutions concerning these said issues, which were previously lodged with the 4 committees, were referred to the joint panel. The adoption of HR number 1880 comes after Senator Deputy Speaker Aurelio Gonzalez Jr. delivered a privileged speech during Monday's session, highlighting the importance of a coordinated approach to pressing issues faced by the country today. Gonzalez was referring to the investigations done by the following House panels on key issues. So here are the following. Committee on Dangerous Drugs, investigation on the warehouse used to store illegal substances in Mexico, Pampanga, which was revealed to be owned by a company headed by Chinese nationals with links to other companies like the formerly Pharmaceutical Corporation. Committee on Public Order and Safety and Committee on Games and Amusements, investigation on the alleged illegal activities linked to POGOs. Committee on Human Rights, investigation on the alleged human rights violations and extrajudicial killings in the drug war. Committee on Public Accounts, anomalous transactions involving the local government of Mexico, Pampanga. The Committee on Dangerous Drugs is headed by Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Robert A. Barbers. The Public Order and Safety panel by Santa Rosa City Representative Dan Fernandez. The Committee on Human Rights under Manila 6th District Representative Bienvenido Abate Jr. and the Committee on Public Accounts by Abang Lingkod Party List Representative Joseph Stephen Pangduano. In his speech, Gonzalez said that while the committees were able to discuss pressing issues, there are intertwined topics and different discussions due to fear that it might be outside their boundaries. Prior to Gonzalez's declaration, House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez also said that the House resolutions asking that the committees mentioned be allowed to hold joint hearings is in the works. Romualdez said this in a press briefing on Monday after he, Gonzalez, and some of the committee chairpersons inspected POGO sites in Pampantalac and in Parac, Pampanga. During this session on Monday, Abante, one right reporter with Representative Ramon Torico Gutierrez, Pampanga 2nd District Representative Gabriel Luz Pro, Quezon City 2nd District Representative Dr. Michael Vargas, and Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Jua expressed their agreement with Gonzalez's proposal. The Committee on Dangerous Drugs initially conducted an investigation into 2 anti-drug operations in Pampanga, including a controlled delivery operation where drugs from the port of Subic were tracked down into a warehouse in Mexico owned by Empire 999 Realty Corporation. After it was eventually revealed that the warehouse was owned by Empire 999 Realty Corporation, controlled by a certain Willie Ong, the committee dropped deeper and found ties to Lincoln Ong, an individual involved in the family issue. The Committee on Public Order and Safety, headed by Fernandez, meanwhile started the probe on Pogos, where it was revealed that a worker named Dylan was sold by a Chinese friend to the Bambang hub for 300,000 pesos. Some of the names mentioned in the Committee on Dangerous Drugs hearing also surfaced during the discussions on Pogo sites. Last August 1, Fernandez presented a matrix crafted by the three committees showing key personalities being linked to the Pogos and drug operations in Central Luzon. Just wait for that to load. Okay, for whatever reason, and it's not loading, so let me just sort my thing real quick. Hopefully that will do it, and getting rid of advertisements on my browser, since for some reason it appeared. Okay, now that's sorted out. That's weird. Okay. Let me just also close that one. Okay. For whatever reason, it's refusing to load at all, so let me go to... Okay, never mind. There we go. Okay, let's continue with the second headline, as the Office of the Ombudsman suspend for 6 months the weekend over their deliberate action to delay the 1.07 billion pesos supplemental budget of the province. In the 6-page order signed by Ombudsman Samuel Martires on August 1, board members Egidio P. Elio, Ronnie L. Molina, Victor R. Condes, Alfie J. O. Niquia, Paridel E. Sanchez, the fourth, Mayala May P. Ladislao, Kenneth Dave B. Gasalo, and Julius Saday O. Tanjanangit were ordered suspended without pay, not exceeding 6 months, as there is strong evidence showing the guilt. The office finds sufficient grounds to preventively suspend herein respondents, considering that there is strong evidence showing the guilt on charges of grave misconduct, oppression, grave abuse of authority, gross neglect of duty under the 2017 Revised Rules of Administrative Cases in the Civil Service, and the Republic Act 6713, or the norms of conduct of public officials and employees. The Ombudsman found that the respondents deliberately delayed action on supplemental budget number 1, amounting to 1.7 billion pesos, during the regular session on May 20 and 27. The respondents also boycotted the regular session on June 3, thus resulting in the adjournment for lack of quorum. The adjournment resulted in setting aside the budget to install a photovoltaic system in 8 hospitals, the purchase of a home solar system, and the installation of solar-powered streetlights. In effect, it deprived the 200 barangays of the province of Antique and about 15,000 households of home solar systems, said the order. The suspension order takes effect immediately. Police are tracking down 3 to 5 persons who could be behind the ambush of UP Vice Mayor Rondan Benito in Maguindanao del Sur on Friday, August 2, a top official in the province said. Colonel Roel Samese, director of the Maguindanao del Sur Police, also said they had activated the Special Investigation Task Group Benito to fast-track the investigation of the ambush that killed the vice mayor and his close aide Juan Marcos and injured his wife and 11-year-old daughter in the town's Barangay Pandan. Semese, who headed the SITG, which had the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, the regional forensic unit in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region Police Office among its members, said they were still gathering more information and were looking towards personal grudge and land conflict as possible motives behind the attack. Benito, a member of the Teruray Lampangian indigenous group in Sart OP, was driving his orange Mitsubishi pickup when waylaid by the predators. His wife Annalyn, village chairperson of Pandan Sart OP, and a child were slightly hurt and now recuperating in an undisclosed hospital. We are hunting down the persons of interest because they have warrants of arrest for other crimes, Semese said, but did not name names. Scene of the crime operatives are SOCO and the forensic unit investigation found physical violence in the ambush site that indicated the gunmen had positioned themselves in the area several hours before the ambush. Mayor Reynald Bert Insular said Benito never mentioned anything about threats to his life or his family, but said the vice mayor used to be locked in a land dispute in Barangay Bahar, which was already settled 3 years back. The dispute started about 20 years ago but was already peacefully settled in 2021, Insular said. Tinumay Labi led the CEO Datu Wata, supreme leader of the Tumay Justice and Governance of the Teruray Lambangian Trepe, said they regarded the killing of the vice mayor as part of the unsolved killings of Teruray leaders that continue up to the present and had something to do with their ancestral land. The Duwata said more than 70 Teruray and Lambangian leaders and community members had been killed, ambushed, or massacred since the approval of Republic Act 11054, also known as the Bangsamoro Organic Law, which created the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and should have been a mechanism for inclusive peace in the region. The group Justice for Rondan Benito movement, composed of Rituray and Lambangian leaders, is calling for a speedy investigation of Benito and other Teruray killings in the Barnam. We demand actions, not merely statements on condemnations. GRPM demands accountability for his death and advocates for a safer, just community for all, said Rocky Batitao, GRPM chair. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the immigration bill didn't look out against him and others was plain harassment and a political witch hunt intended to silence him. Roque's statement came after an ILBO was issued against him in connection with the cases concerning Lucky Sword 99 Corp, the rated Philippine offshore gaming operator Pogo Hub in Pampanga. The only pieces of evidence they have are: 1. That I have accompanied Catherine Cassandra Leong for rescheduling of arrears payment, and 2. An uncorroborated organizational chart which I had no participation in preparing, neither did I consent to my name's inclusion, he pointed out. This political witch hunt is intended to silence me as a critic of this administration, he added. Roque likewise said that he would face all the allegations against him related to the Pogo and that there was no reason for him to leave the country. Based on the order released by the Department of Justice on Tuesday, the ILBO covers 11 other individuals linked to the case. They are the following: Catherine Cassandra Leong, Ziang Tang, Jing Gu, Stephanie B. Mascarenas, Michael Bress B. Martaranas, Zihang Ji, Duang Ren Ru, Raymond Galonjico, Randall Galonjico, Dennis Alcunanan, and Hang Gao. Considering the gravity of the possible charges, as well as the wide media coverage and public attention this has gained over the past months, there is a strong possibility that the aforementioned nationals may attempt to place themselves beyond the reach of the legal processes of this department by leaving the country. The order dated August 6 reads: An ILBO, however, may not prevent Roque and others from leaving the country as it is for monitoring purposes only and is not a sufficient prohibition to bar someone from leaving the country. Only the courts can issue a whole departure order. And speaking of the Immigration Lookup Bulletin, an Immigration Lookup Bulletin order has been issued against former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque and 11 other individuals in connection with the cases involving Lucky Star 99 Corp, the Philippine offshore gaming operator hub that was raided in Pampanga. And now it's time for the fact check from Inquirer.net, as a fraudulent website posing as Inquirer.net has circulated a false story claiming a scandal involving Vice President Sara Duterte and Apollo C. Cupuloy during a live broadcast of SMNI. The fake report found here alleges that a heated exchange occurred between Duterte and the fugitive televangelist, resulting in controversial statements about wealth and passive income. The report includes fabricated quotes and scenarios designed to mislead readers. Inquirer.net categorically denies that this story exists on its official platforms. The URL used by the Blogo site does not match Inquirer.net's authentic structure, proving its inauthenticity. As always, people, beware of fake news and stay vigilant and only read from the official sources that you are familiar with. It is now 17 minutes past 6, and we will have more headlines coming up right here on koolNews at 6. So stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back to koolNews at 6. Commissions on Elections, Comelec and Bank has allowed this department to file a formal complaint against suspended Babantarlac Mayor Alice Guo for alleged misrepresentation in her candidacy in the 2022 local elections, said Comelec Chairman George Garcia on Tuesday. In an embassy interview, Garcia noted that Comelec and Bank decided unanimously on the previous recommendation of its law department to file a misrepresentation case against Guo. Comelec and Bank unanimously adopted the recommendations of our law department to file a formal complaint against Mayor Alice Guo / Guo Huaping, and therefore we will start conducting a preliminary investigation. Misrepresentation under Section 621 of the Omnibus Election Code. It is a criminal case that, when proven true with evidence and probable cause, can be penalized with 1 to 6 years of imprisonment. The case can also be brought to the Regional Trial Court for due process. According to Garcia, the Law Department can issue a subpoena against Guo to face the allegations that she committed misrepresentation in the 2022 local elections when she filed her candidacy. He added that while Guo has the liberty whether or not to face the accusations towards her non-appearance may delay the operations of Comelec. In June, the National Bureau of Investigation confirmed that the fingerprints of Mayor Alice Guo and Chinese citizen Guo Huaping matched. Only natural-born Filipinos or foreign nationals who became naturalized Filipino citizens are allowed by Comelec to file candidacy in the local elections. The citizenship of Guo was questioned by Senator Rizal de Veros, where her birth was registered late in 2013, 17 years after she was supposedly born in 1986. She is also under investigation over her alleged ties with illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators. The owner of the sunken ship leaking oil in Manila Bay has denied allegations that it is involved in smuggling. In a statement on Tuesday, motor tanker Terra Nova's owner, Porta Vaga Ship Management, said it categorically denies the allegations of smuggling and involvement in Paahi oil smuggling operations. Paahi refers to the practice of transferring oil from large vessels to smaller craft while at sea in a bid to avoid paying taxes. Porta Vaga Ship Management issued the statement after Justice Secretary Justice Crispin Remula told DCRH over the weekend that authorities are investigating if the motor tanker is involved in oil smuggling. The company said that since the beginning of its operation, MT Terra Nova has never filed reports of abnormal oil loss that could be a tell sign that the motor tanker is involved in smuggling. MT Terra Nova is equipped with a comprehensive CCTV system as part of the company's proactive measures to prevent oil loss, the company said. Since the of oil loss claims or reports of abnormal loss filed against MT Terra Nova by any of its charterers, it added. MT Terra Nova was carrying 1.4 million liters of intersulfur oil when it capsized and sank off Bataan last July 25, killing a crew member. The oil slick has spread up to the coast of Manila and nearby provinces. The Federation of Philippine Industries asked various government agencies to implement President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s order to end smuggling and other forms of illicit trade, which cost the economy more than 2 trillion pesos a year. When industry and government work together, we can achieve remarkable results. Let us continue to build on this momentum. Let us advocate for stronger policies, support the modernization of our customs systems, and promote transparency and accountability at all levels. FPI President Jesus Montemayor said at the first National Anti-Illicit Trade Summit on July 25, 2024. The FPI said more than 2 trillion pesos worth of goods, including counterfeit products, general merchandise, agricultural items, cigarettes, and other tobacco products are smuggled into the Philippines annually. Motimir said that apart from economic losses, smuggling also erodes public trust in government, compromises products' quality and safety, and stifles legitimate businesses. A study commissioned by the FPI found that we are losing 250 billion pesos of value-added tax to smuggling. FPI Chairman Jesus Lim Aranza said that as VAT represents 12% of the value of imported goods, about 2.3 trillion pesos worth of smuggled products are unfairly competing with locally made products. The goods that came into the Philippines without paying the usual duties and taxes would be valued at about 2.3 trillion pesos. And how much are we losing? It has ripple effects. It is smuggling with ripple effects in the economy. As the saying goes, there can be no government without money, Aranza said. Assistant Secretary Sikar of the Department of Agriculture Inspectorate and Enforcement Office affirmed that smuggling harms the agricultural and fisheries sector. Agricultural smuggling poses a significant threat to the livelihood of our farmers and fishery folk and a major risk for the consumer's health and safety. Smuggled food products bypass quality control and inspection, payment of taxes, and discourage local food production. It is an unfair trade practice and should be considered economic sabotage, Karak said. Paul Oliver Pagunayan, acting chief of the Intellectual Property Rights Division of the Bureau of Customs, said the 5 most commonly smuggled products are agricultural products and general merchandise. Pagunayan said this was based on the number of warehouses raided by customs agents in the first half of 2024. The Bureau confiscated billions of pesos worth of illicit cigarettes and vapes this year, explaining the drop in tobacco excise tax collection. About 20% of cigarettes sold in the Philippines are illegal, with tobacco excise tax collection falling 41 billion pesos in the past 2 years due to smuggling. This deprives the government of funds for health programs and local development projects, according to FPI. Bienvenido Oblas Jr., president of Bienvenido Oblas Jr. Research Consultancy Services and Minimal Government Thinkers, said in his regular newspaper column that cigarette smuggling intensified when the tobacco excise tax exceeded 50 pesos per pack in 2021. Then things literally went south. A tobacco tax rate of 55 pesos per pack in 2022, tax revenue was 160.3 billion pesos, or 16.2 billion pesos decline from 2021. At 60 pesos per pack in 2023, it was just 134.9 billion pesos, or a 25.4 billion pesos decline from 2022 and a 41.6 billion pesos decline from 2021, Oblas said. About 50% of tobacco tax collections fund the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation and health facilities enhancement programs. About 5% or 4 billion pesos goes to local government units producing barley and native tobacco, and 50% or 13 billion pesos is allotted to LGUs producing Virginia tobacco. China has intensified its militarization of Subic Zamora Reef, which is part of the territorial sea of Titu Island, also known as Pagasa Island, according to Navy spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad. During a press briefing on Tuesday, Trinidad confirmed that Chinese military structures and equipment have been established within Subic Reef and other key bases in the West Philippine Sea. Trinidad also reported the presence of construction vehicles and heavy equipment on Subic Reef. He noted that China has reclaimed approximately 3,000 hectares both within and outside the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. The total reclaimed area within our EEZ and out of our EEZ, I think roughly around 3,000 hectares. This includes their major bases, This includes Subic Reef, which I would like to correct, it's outside our EEC, although it is roughly 12 to 15 nautical miles from Pagasa Island, he said. Is there a creeping invasion? Yes, and this has begun since 1992, since we started noticing Chinese markers in the expanse of the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea, Trinidad added. He clarified that significant reclamation efforts took place from 2011 to 2013, with no new large-scale reclamations reported since then. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives and Senate will push for the allocation of funds for the Negros Island region during deliberations on the proposed 2025 budget. Senator Juan Miguel Subiri, one of the principal authors of the NIR bill, said legislators would examine the proposed national budget. By that time, we would have made adjustments already with the House NIR contingent as well as with us in the Senate for the inclusion of the NIR budget, he told in the Inquirer on August 2. Senator Amy Marcos, during a visit to Bacolod Court on August 1, said the budget proposal, called the National Expenditure Program, did not include funds for the NIR in 2025. Negros Occidental Governor Eugenio Jose Lacson said they already knew that the proposed 2025 national budget did not include the NIR funds. I hope they could successfully convince the national government to include the NIR in this budget for 2025, he added. Lacson said he would ask about the NIR budget during the technical working group meeting on August 9. President Marcos Jr. signed the law creating the NIR, composed of Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor on June 13. Senator Joseph Victor Josito earlier said that if the NIR budget was done in the proposed budget, then it is the job of the legislature to allocate the funds for the NIR. Josito, principal author of the NIR in the Senate, earlier said that 1.2 billion pesos annual budget over the next few years has been recommended for the NIR. Negros Oriental Governor Manuel Chaco Sagabaria said he was thankful to the president for signing the NIR law and gave the assurance that the provisional government was helping provide space for the regional offices on his side of the island. Negros Occidental Vice Governor Jeffrey Ferrer, for his part, said the NIR was a dream come true and there would be ways to secure funds for it during the budget deliberations. And there is this one question, if you are one of them. Are you intelligent, shy, and somewhat angry at the world? Be warned, as you could be an easy target for recruitment by local communist groups, according to Senator Pato de la Rosa, quoting information from former rebels. At the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs hearing on Tuesday, Pato de la Rosa said there is a need for guidance counselors to properly profile their students, noting that certain characteristics are prone to recruitment by the Communist Party of the Philippines. You know what? Based on those recruiters of the NPA who have surrendered, if you profile your students, you guidance counselors should be good profilers. Profile your students, and if you see that they are somewhat intelligent, shy, and somehow angry at the world, those are the type of people who are easily recruited to be extremists. According to the senator, once a student is recruited to the CPP, he or she will carry firearms and join the NPA. That's why guidance counselors and campuses should identify their students and immediately talk to them. Give them proper concealing because it's easy for them to get recruited. The former chief of the Philippine National Police said recruiters in campuses are skilled when it comes to picking raped and low-hanging fruits that may be harvested soon. Prior to De La Rosa's remarks, PNP Directorate for Operations Colonel Randy Arceo said CPP's recruitment activities have been detected in 102 educational institutions nationwide since 2014. Arceo said in the same hearing that combined efforts of the PNP and Armed Forces of the Philippines have so far accounted for a total of 168 military students who are allegedly recruited by the CPP. As a result of focused military and police operations and law enforcement operations, 36 died during operations, 41 arrested, and 92 others surrendered, he also disclosed. And the Senate panel headed by Senator Ronald De La Rosa will invite Kabataan Party List Representative Roral Manuel to its hearing on the alleged recruitment of students to the New People's Army. De La Rosa announced it during the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs Tuesday hearing after former rebels Eugene Ramos and Kate Radka testified that Manuel allegedly recruited students to be a part of the NPA. This is just an invitation. While we respect interparliamentary courtesy, we would also like to afford him the floor if he wants to talk here in front of his former colleagues. Maybe he wants to defend himself. This is only an invitation. De La Rosa pointed out that despite the interparliamentary courtesy between the Senate and the House of Representatives, he was invited to the House probe into the alleged rights violations during the war on drugs of the Duterte administration. He did not attend. Maybe he wants to come. Just invite him, but I don't think he will come, De La Rosa said. It was Radka who floated the idea of inviting Manuel. She said it would be better for the lawmaker to tell this story himself. Actually, they can come here to defend themselves. They might assume that we are the only ones talking here, so I'd suggest that we invite Raul Manuel. These people, Franz Castro and who else, those party list members of the Makabayan bloc, might say that this is just a one-sided story. Come here, Raul. Let's talk about what we did in the past. That's just my suggestion, Raka said. In November 2023, De La Rosa vowed to do everything in his power to pin down Manuel for the latter's alleged involvement in the NPA, the armed wing of the Communist Party of the Philippines. The Kabataan Party List has denied the accusations. This is not senator behavior. This is a waste of Senate resources and abuse of public funds. No official should use his position in the government to exceed his responsibility and attack the youth and our countrymen who promote justice, the Kabataan Party List said. It is now 17 minutes before 7, and we will be getting into sports headlines, which includes Carlos Yulo and more right here on koolNews at 6. So stick around, we will be right back.
to the music. Cool FM.
Welcome back to koolNews at 6. As I have been disconnected from Roblox, give me a second as I will be back right now. There we go. Now let's get into sports. Team Philippines gold medalist Carlos Yulo clarified the root cause of the rift with his mother Angelica Yulo in the controversy that spread like wildfire following his historic campaign in the Paris Olympics 2024. Yulo, sitting beside his girlfriend Chloe Angelique Santos, addressed the issue directly in a TikTok video, saying that his mother Angelica allegedly had not disclosed to him all the withdrawals she had made from his bank accounts that she had been handling on his behalf. Hugo said that his mother had been handling his finance, which included all the allowances and incentives for his victories, until he decided to take over the bank account. Apart from the incentives, my mom had also had access to my bank account and my monthly allowance for gymnastics. When I finally got control of that bank account, I found out she had been draining it. I have the bank statements showing the withdrawals she made, Yulo said in Filipino. In an interview with Bombo Radio earlier this week, Angelica Yulo detailed her dealings regarding his son's finance, making financial moves which included withdrawing money from Carlos' account to transfer to hers. She said was to safeguard the star gymnast's future. So it was given to me. As a mother, I felt that my child might run out of money in the future, Angelica said in Filipino. So what I did was deposit it under my name at BPI here in Victor Cruz. Then I held on to it and turned it into a bond for a credit card. Carlos Yulo, though, said he wouldn't even have known that he had early received his incentives, singling out his campaign in the 2022 World Championships where he took home 2 medals if he hadn't come looking for them. The 70,000 peso incentives she mentioned from the World Championships in 2021, first of all, it was actually in 2022. I didn't receive 70,000 pesos. I know it was a 6-digit amount because I won 2 medals. After that, around December, I went back to the Philippines and I met with my mom. She didn't tell me that she had already received my incentives from the World Championships. I wouldn't have known she received the incentives if I hadn't looked for them. I never received those incentives and never asked for them. I gave it up, but I just want to know where those incentives went. Carlos said the amount of money was irrelevant to the financial rift. The principle here isn't the amount, but about the fact that incentives were hidden and used without my consent. Angela Yulo said that her son has gotten all his money in full. At that time, I should have suggested we open a joint account, but I never said that. I didn't do it. For me, I know he worked hard for that money. He should spend it in a way that makes him happy. Because at the end of the day, he should be the one benefiting from all his hard work. Kaloy got his money, a total of 11 million pesos, in full from BDO. He received it. Angelica Yulo also said that Carlos' girlfriend Santos is the root of her issues with her son, and that's a claim the Olympian did not deny. She said our misunderstanding started because of Chloe. That's true. Ever since the beginning, she didn't like Chloe, even though she hadn't met or seen her in person. Our relationship worsened when I started setting boundaries. I stood up for Chloe because I like her. Yulo, though, also addressed how his mother had judged Santos demeanor and style right off the bat. Carlos also clarified that Sanjos, a Filipino-Australian living in Melbourne, is using her own earnings to bankroll her lifestyle and travel. She judged Chloe right away because of how she dressed and acted. Chloe and I grew up in different environments. Chloe grew up in Australia, and that's the culture she knows. It's very different from how we move, talk, and dress in the Philippines. First of all, Chloe has her own income. Everything you see her using and all her travels come from her hard work. And why would I run out of money? As I said, Chloe has her own income, and all my bank accounts were controlled by my mom. There have been instances where Chloe had to support me financially. Amid the rift between Carlos Yulo and his mother, Sanjos has been the gymnast's main support system in Paris during the Olympics. She was seen attending Carlos Yulo's matches in France. With Yulo still celebrating his victory in Paris and the Summer Games still in full swing, the most demanded Olympian from the Philippines has one wish. My message to you, Ma, is to heal and move on. I forgave you a long time ago. I pray that you are always safe and in good health. Let's stop this bickering and instead celebrate the hard work and sacrifices of every Filipino athlete here at the Olympics. But that's not to say that Yulo would easily forget about his mother's words that he deemed were hurtful. In a recent interview, you congratulated me. If you're truly genuine, Ma, thank you very much. I acknowledge your congratulations, but I still remember the hurtful things you said to me and how you didn't wish me well. Those words really stuck with me, Carlos said. And finally, in entertainment news, Anjali Kehang admitted that there were times that she felt she was taken advantage of while filming love scenes in Viva Max movies, as her co-actors tended to be extra passionate with her. Sitting down recently on Tony Talks, the young actress said that there were a lot of times she felt violated, as her co-stars tend to go overboard with their actions. There were times when the plaster was removed because the private part hardened, and then before the director started taking the scene, they were already kissing me, and after the director cuts the scene, they're still kissing me. Kay had shared that when that happens, she usually tells the director, but she did not disclose if certain actions were taken for accountability or anything to make her feel more safe in the set. When asked how she feels when the audience stands her to judge her for being a sexy star, Kay admitted that she used to feel affected by the criticism. At first, I was sad. People in the industry said that's how it is. It's a form of art, a craft like music. But why do the masses think that I'm just a bold star? I think so my behavior is ugly, and my family didn't raise me right. Kehan also revealed that there were many times she received indecent proposals, and she just learned to ignore them. I was disrespected so much because I'm doing my work professionally, but there are also many sexy artists who receive indecent proposals. And the one thing I thought, as long as I don't do it, I should not mind them. They're just probably want attention, she explained. The Mahjong Knights actress also detailed that she grew up in an abusive household and has a history of self-harm because of her past experiences. And that is it for Cool News at 6. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines later with Cool News Prime Time at 9 to 9. Until then, I'm Cairo. Good evening.